Hey guys, it's Lou, and wanted to make a video to talk to you about what to do when you have problems with coach relations. During this week, I know a couple of coaches have had some problems. They've messaged me about them. A couple of things involving payments and credit cards, uh, some odd, stupid stuff. And I see a message thread going on in another group that we're in. So I just want to give you guys some advice for how to deal with coach relations. And one of the things that works for me is when I have a problem, before I even call coach relations, I try and think about what that problem is, how it was caused. Maybe it's something on my end. Maybe it's a problem with my credit card, whatever. And the thing is, when I do call them, I go in there with a can-do attitude. I go in there with the intent to win, and at the same time, I don't go in there with the intent to have a fight. I go in there expecting that the outcome will be exactly the way I prefer it to be, which would be to get the right product shipped to me, or to get something fixed with my credit card, or whatever. Or maybe I'm doing something to help a client. It doesn't matter. But the point I'm trying to make is that when I call coach relations, I do several things very effectively. The first thing I do is I'm very patient. So I know that when I call them at certain times of the day, it's going to be extremely busy. So I usually try to call them later in the afternoon, or very early in the morning, or even late at night. And sometimes I don't even call them. Sometimes I go into a coach chat, which is always very effective. I go online and I get a chat going, and that works out great. But regardless of whether it's a coach chat or whether I'm on the phone with a person, I'm super polite to whoever it is that's trying to help me. That person is not the enemy. You know, there's an old saying, hate the game, not the player. This is a really perfect example of that. This person has nothing to do with the problem, and it's very common, unfortunately, that people will vent out their frustration on customer service people. And this is not one of those times to do it, because you have to remember, coach relations is there to help you. I always think of them as like the minions in the movie Despicable Me. They're very, very polite. They're very, very helpful. Sometimes they don't have all the answers, but they'll always try to help you. And I try to talk to the person I'm speaking to with a lot of respect. I give them the facts. I find that if I'm very polite to them, if I kind of laugh a little at the circumstances, they're more likely to help me. But you know what works great? I put it in the person's mind that's helping me that they are about to take full responsibility for solving my problem. This way, when that person goes home at the end of the day, instead of telling their spouse or their friends or their dog that they spent the whole day dealing with crappy coaches who did nothing but bark at them, they're going to be able to say, I helped this one guy named Coach Lou, and I feel so good because he had a big problem and I helped him fix it. And I feel good because he knows I helped him fix it and he was thanking me. And you know what? I think I'm going to carry that forward the next time I help any of the coaches. And you know, positivity is infectious. It breeds. You gotta just keep that right attitude. Just keep it moving forward. Just don't be a negative Nelly when you're speaking to them. Whatever the problem is, they will fix it. And if it's something that's your fault, which it probably is not, then they'll tell you what to do to make it right. But there are so many different things that are going to happen during your career as a coach. And you have to remember, the company is growing very, very large. There are so many people getting into the whole Team Beachbody experience. They're signing on as clients. The number of people is overwhelming. And it's a really great rate of growth. It's such a huge level of expansion. And this is wonderful for us. That means that something's going right. So these are like growing pains. There's going to be some rough issues along the way. You have to just kind of ride with them. So when just backing up a bit, when you are speaking with coach relations, when you get the answer that you wanted to hear, or even if you don't get the answer you wanted to hear, just say to the person, could you send me an email outlining what we just talked about? Or is there a number that's associated with this conversation? Is this being recorded? Is it, get it documented somehow. And I'm telling you guys, if it's you or if it's one of your clients, if a DVD broke in half, if your Shakeology bag looked like it got raped in the box, if anything, they'll fix it. They don't want you to have problems. They don't know that they sent you a box filled with the wrong DVDs. They won't know until you tell them. And when you tell them, just try to put your emotions aside and just give them the chance to fix it and make it right. And some of the time, or I should say most of the time, they're going to tell you, go ahead and keep the wrong thing that we sent you. So now you have, you have extra stuff. You have like a free gift for your troubles, which is kind of cool, and you can use that and as a raffle item in your group or whatever. But that's my point, guys. Just keep positive. Just wear a big smile when you talk to them. Force yourself to do it. Be so smart alecky polite that it's disgusting, because these things are going to happen all the time. It happens to me every week. It almost happens every day. It's always something, whether it's a problem with point volume, or a client orders something from the Beachbody site and I want the credit for it, or somebody did something and I didn't get a Success Club point, or a point got taken away. It's all normal. This is company policy. This is you got to get your feet dirty sometimes, and this is what it involves. So that's it, guys. Peace out, and I hope this